All right, so Nate Boyer here, former Green Beret, NFL long snapper, and co-founder of Emerging Vets and Players. He's currently doing fantasy football on his computer. No, not really. An organization.
You can tell them what happened. I left my Uber. I left my phone in an Uber.
Yeah.
It has been located. I went to check into the hotel, and I pull out my reservation, but I couldn't pull out my reservation because I didn't have my phone, and that's what I'm dealing with. So I'm texting on my laptop, and that's why.
Which is funny because
big
I
phone
said
you got. Yeah.
it's only
a big
embarrassing if you've done it twice, and you said this is not my first time.
It's not my first time. Yes, last time I did not retrieve it.
Yeah.
My buddy has it in custody, so that's good.
Good.
I'll get it back at some
Good to
point.
go. But we're bringing professional athletes and veterans together through community and purpose, and so you've lived in both worlds. You've done a little bit of both, and in special operations and NFL. What leadership lessons do you think tie in between the two? And I know that's probably a really common question. So I guess what I mean is not just in what you interact with other people, but what is it that you think resonated with you when you were in the military that made you realize this is something that I need to carry forth into into the sports world and vice versa?
Well, the biggest thing was discipline. You know what I mean? Like understanding and learning that you have to sacrifice a lot to be elite no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that can be, obviously you do that in the military and you're willing to,
And it's a muscle.
People have, in our history, so many have sacrificed their lives. So many have sacrificed a lot, like you have, that we can physically see. And a lot of people have sacrificed other things, that we maybe don't. And I think that those things are they're very similar, but that discipline, that is instilled in you, whether you like it or not, it kind of sticks with you. And so without the time in the military, I wouldn't have been able to even think I had a shot of playing football.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even have believed it, but I had to apply it. And those things, like some of the best, soldiers or military members that you serve with, and some of the best athletes out there. Yes, they're talented and smart and athletic or whatever, but they usually work really, really hard. They're extremely disciplined.
And that's the difference, I think, between that motivation and discipline that a lot of people struggle with. It's very easy to get super excited about something, but those are the easy days. Sometimes when you go to the gym or when you go to work out, or you're eating a meal because it's the smart move and not, pizza because it's delicious.
Right.
You're making a decision that day. I love pizza. Anyways, I do love pizza.
Pizza's great.
But
who doesn't?
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't, I question things.
But it's those days when it's raining and you still got to go work out. It's those days that you got something going on with your shoulder and you're like, I need to do something. Even if it's I walk in there,
right,
and if I don't like it and it feels weird, I'm going to leave. But I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up because it's more learning how to tell yourself no.
You know what I'd be interested to hear, Nate? Big game mindset.
Yeah.
You've played in some big games.
Yeah, right.
Texas, for the Seattle Seahawks. What are the cadets? This has got to be their biggest game on the season. Army-Navy kind of doesn't really compare to anything else.
No, it is the biggest game, and not just for Army and Navy. I think it's the biggest game, football game that this country plays.
I think so too.
Seriously, I've been to 4 Super Bowls, and it's awesome. It's really fun. I went to the one where Tom Brady had that crazy comeback against the Falcons, right? But still,
I'm a Georgia boy. That one's still hurts.
Sorry.
No, that's like.
But still,
it's gonna be okay.
In this stadium tomorrow, the energy you feel, and knowing that everybody on the field playing is willing to die for everybody sitting in the stands watching is like a crazy thing to kind of conceptualize. Because yes, it's a game, but it's like it's just different. It means so much more. There's nothing that compares. And yeah, like you said, Texas. I've been to a lot of really cool venues and seen some great games and played in some. But nothing compares to this.
What sticks out for you though, as far as one of your big games, whether it was a championship, whether it was maybe a big moment for a reason not anticipated?
It was beating A&M and beating Oklahoma. To be honest, that was our Navy. If you're an Army guy,
have them show up tomorrow though, and they'll find out that the Army and Navy can work together.
Yeah, exactly.
Which atmosphere was crazier, at home with A&M coming in, or going to Kyle Field?
Well, I'd say Kyle. I got to give him that.
Hostile territory.
Yes, hostile territory, but their fan base is amazing, right? And the history and the pageantry, the core, and I mean, the yell leaders, it's not my thing, but I get it.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
And
Yeah.
it is very cool. And
You don't
everybody's
know.
very, they call it the 12th man for a reason, but
Yeah.
like it is like a part of that team. Like you feel
Being
it.
an SEC guy, for us, it's like certain places are dangerous. Like you legitimately don't carry Georgia stuff into Vol territory. Like they'll flip a car,
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it makes sense outside the SEC that there are other places.
Is that how you lost your leg?
That is. It actually, I didn't lose it. I watched
SEC
it roll down the
championship.
hill.
2020. Yeah.
I walked in there with a Georgia shirt on. They took it
It
from
was
me.
bad. It was so bad. Yeah,
That's cool,
I
though.
had to switch teams.
I was actually born in Knoxville. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
my dad was going to veterinary school at University of Tennessee. My mom was working at Oak Ridge
so he's a
National
vet
Lab.
too.
He's a vet too. Exactly. He is.
It's the best kind.
Yeah. Well, no, when I first, I always thought a vet was a veterinarian growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that because I didn't really have military in my family.
I want to meet a vet. That's what I want.
Oh yeah,
I've been
they're
saying
out
that
there.
for a long
Double
time.
vets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the SEC, that I think, except for this game, some of those rivalries and some of the being in the stadiums for some of those games, it's hard to compare. But this blows it out of the water at the same time. Like it is. It's just I say it to everybody, whether they're a veteran or not.
Yeah.
Like you got to go to an Army-Navy game at some point. I know it's an expensive ticket. It's a tough trip. It's cold, but it is special.
Yeah, even knowing coming last year for the first time, I was like, this is an energy. This feels like a boxing match.
To me,
Right.
it was like everything up to like the kickoff was
Yeah.
almost like the greatest pageantry show. From the march on to
Yep.
the 64 flyover when the Army took, I tell this in like to the 4 F-18s that when the
Yeah.
Navy comes out, it's like we didn't see that kind of like forces in combat,
Right, right.
predominantly.
Yeah, we're not
Exactly.
gonna hold 4
And
F-18s out.
that's how you take the field.
Exactly. That's how you take the field to play a game. And we're like,
Yeah.
hey, can we get a little close air support? Nope, sorry.
No.
Yeah, not on station. Not
They
happening.
don't realize that we're playing with them too. I think that's the real secret.
Yeah.
So I want to talk just for a moment about service.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I think that a lot of times when people serve in the military, you don't realize even when you're in that it's service
Right.
until you get out in some ways, because you never think to serve people to fill the hole that's left until you do it and you go, oh my gosh, this is like when I get involved in nonprofit, all of a sudden I feel whole again.
Yeah.
What is happening with me? Because you think of service as its own word, as its own term, not as the fact that you're giving something a part of yourself. And that's what makes it resonate.
Yeah.
When you're part of the team, when you're a part of something like that. So I want to ask for you, what does service mean to you? And ask you about what it feels like to be sincere and to try in a world that seems like they want to make a joke out of everything. Like we can laugh, but like there's a moment where you lock it down and you work.
Yeah, right. No, I think, look, like whether, no matter why you joined, and there's various stories for that. My favorite story of someone that is very famous that served is Randy Couture, right? 6-time UFC champ. A lot of people don't know he was in the military.
I didn't know.
He was in the Army, and it was peacetime, and he's the first one to tell you that. He's like, I don't want to say that I did this and that, but it was because of that he became a UFC fighter. Like he learned how to sacrifice and the discipline and all that. But he joined because he got his girlfriend pregnant, and he's like, I got to take care of this kid. I need something steady, and this makes sense for me.
Yeah.
And that's why he joined. But what he became is like we all do whether we like it or not, we become a person of service. It's just in us, like, because you're doing it, and you're just doing your job when you're in.
Yeah.
But you realize once you're out, quickly, how like not just the camaraderie and all that, but like how everything you did, it really does matter.
Yeah.
And it's hard to replicate that and find that in the real world, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you don't have service at some part of your life moving forward, I think people struggle even more. Like it's already hard enough to take the uniform off and transition and do that, but it's even tougher if service isn't a part of your life. And that can be a nonprofit, that can be to your family, your neighborhood, whatever, but like you need it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nonprofits, looking at your hat,
Yeah.
MVP, I mean, this is, kind of this game is kind of the example of the service academies coming together around sport.
Yeah.
MVP meets them on the other side of service, right?
Yeah.
Being able to bring the athletes together with the veterans.
Yep.
Such a cool mission. Such a great place for you guys to host a tailgate this year.
Heck yeah.
Excited to check that out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like, what's going on in the MVP world?
Man, so yeah, we're continuing to open chapters where we can, and when we can. Austin's one of our newer ones, which is cool to me because I, went to college there, and it's a great sports town. We just did an event recently with the New Orleans Saints, and I was out here at the Commanders game just 2 weeks ago. Doing something with the coach Dan Quinn, the Commanders coach. That's another great story. But when he was the coach for the Falcons when they lost that Super Bowl, right? A year later, he was out of a job, and he found MVP because he felt lost. He was missed that tribe, and he missed that community. And he's like, "Where's my locker room? I need it."
Yeah.
And then he came back and was great with the Cowboys, and he's doing well with the Commanders. They're having a tough year right now. Their quarterback's hurt and all that.
It's a building year.
It's a building year. But they went all the way to the NFC Championship last year. It's really cool. So anyway, that's what MVP does. That's who we're there for, veterans and athletes. There's a mutual respect between the two groups, but just like the Legion, honestly, like we need a place that we can all go and be with our brothers and sisters and kind of feel that connection to what we did. You know what I mean? In some way, like, of course we got to move forward. We shouldn't be living in the past and just glory days behind us. Like, our glory days should be still ahead and with us every day. And we should be proud of what we did and not just dump that, but at the same time, like, don't rest on those laurels and find your tribe again. Find the people that did something that were willing to do what you did, and sign on that dotted line, take that oath. And on the athlete side, of course, they're not in the military, but like, they're heroes to a lot of us. They were heroes to me growing up.
Performers, right? They understand the struggle.
Exactly.
It's really cool how you bring all that together, but also to be able to tell those stories. And you had a release recently, right?
Yeah.
Being able to really kind of package that together in story form.
Yeah.
And this was directorial for you?
Yeah. So MVP actually came out a couple of years ago. Well, we just moved to Netflix last week. So
maybe that's what I saw.
So we were
that's really cool.
It came out. We were in select theaters for a bit, and then we did we were a couple of years on Paramount Plus, and now it's on Netflix. But it's about a Marine living in a homeless shelter and a former NFL player, first year out of the league, and they meet and they're going through the same struggles of completely different lives and backstories, and black guy, white guy. Got money, living in a shelter, family, no family, but they're in the same space at the same time.
You starred in it and directed it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
How was that?
If you co-write, direct, produce, and act in a movie, you don't have to pay those people. So it was. That's the only way we made it happen.
That's not a ball on a budget, right there.
Exactly.
Free labor.
Exactly. Free labor.
That's
nothing like it.
Brother, Nate Bauer, we got a former
Boyer. Come on.
Boyer.
It's okay. You got a lot going on.
Nate Boyer.
Yeah.
Right, breathe it in.
Former Green Beret, NFL veteran.
I'll correct you.
We sure do appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, thanks for everything you do.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Right on.
Can we get you to sign the?
Hell yeah.
You can sign it Boyer or Bauer.
Yes.
Yeah. You might want to take it. It'll fall off if you try any tomfoolery.
Don't be trying
any shenanigans.